So Russia will invade Turkey and then Israel. Ezekiel 38 says, I will bring thee forth and all thine army, pass through the region of Togarmah, just north of Turkey, and the king of the north, Russia, in Daniel 11, shall come against the land of Israel. Let's look at what that says. Russia will come, says Ezekiel 38, verse 15, out of the north parts. RSV says, out of the uttermost parts of the north, as a mighty army. So here we can see it. Here's the uttermost parts of the north, as Ezekiel 38 says, verse 15 in the RSV. And they will come into the Middle East. And they are preparing to do that. And when they do, where will they go first? Daniel 11 says the king of the north will come against him like a whirlwind with chariots and with horsemen and many ships, and shall enter also into the glorious land, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. So they'll go first of all into Egypt with many ships and by land. They will take Egypt. Why? Well, Egypt has found a massive gas field off the coast of Egypt. They found it about the same time as Israel, but it's taken them years to develop it. And they've just developed it. Last year they got a balance of payments from it of 50 billion profit in Egypt. Normally they have a deficit, but they're prospering greatly. The amount of gas they're getting from here, making it into LPG and sending it to Europe. Here's the ships. It's a real threat to what Russia's doing. And if Russia wishes to control the energy, they probably need to get Egypt first. They probably need to get Egypt first. The situation is looking very precarious. And so they will come. They will move in, take control of Europe, occupy Turkey, and then invade Israel. But first, in between, probably, they take Egypt. So here's their plan. Did this map probably 2 years ago into Europe, into Ukraine, then into the Middle East, and then into the Israel and Egypt, and back to Israel for the great battle of Armageddon. The situation is looking terribly scary at the moment. So things are looking like in that area first it will fall, and then the whole of Europe. But remember what we said at the outset. There are a number of quotes that speak of Russia. Russia making its move into the Middle East. And those quotes show to us where, when, why, and who. Let's look at the where question. Where will they come to? He shall come into the glorious land, says Daniel 11. The valley of Jehoshaphat, just outside Jerusalem. Upon the mountains of Israel, against Jerusalem to battle. So yes, he goes down into Egypt, but comes back to Jerusalem. So the great battle will occur in the Middle East in Israel. What about when? Well, at the time of the end, when I shall bring again Russia in. In many regards, they came in 1967 and they armed the Egyptians. They were arming ships, but they didn't get them down in time in 1967. And in latter years, our days, after Jerusalem becomes a burden of stone, and everybody is worried about Israel and Jerusalem today, there's real strife and riots going on. It's exactly fulfillment of our time. So the great battle occurs at the time of the end in the near future. The day is just around the corner for all of us. We need to act. The time is short. The time is very short. Why? Why will Russia move into the Middle East and possibly Europe at that time? At that time thy people will be delivered. Israel. So shall ye know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Israel, in Zion. That the nations may know me when through you, O Gog, I vindicate my holiness before their eyes. And the Yahweh will be king over all the earth. So what's going to happen? The great battle will result in world coming under Christ's control. That's why Christ will intervene in that great conflict. And lastly, who? Who will come into the Middle East? Kings of the north with many ships. All the heathen, all the surrounding nations. Gog's confederacy, as we looked at in Ezekiel 38. Gather all nations to the land of Israel. It will be a worldwide conflict. All nations will be involved. It will be a frightening scene that we see at that time.